By the time of this recording, the final 10 episodes of Infinity Chain are streaming in HBO Max, and I've only watched the first two episodes. I was originally gonna make a review, but apparently the episodes aren't available on Watch Cartoon Online, and in considering I'm trying to make daily videos more often than before, this is literally the best I can do. All I can say is that the first two episodes of Infinity Train is a lot more different compared to the first episodes from earlier seasons. The twin tapes in the Iceberg car, for me personally, is a great introduction of McGee and Ryan. Let me just say that in the first episode, which is twin tapes, we don't immediately go into the train until the end of the episode. We just get to see the life of McGee and Ryan, who is desperate to have his dream come true on becoming a rock star or be part of a band, but his friend McGee just refuses because he just isn't like his best friend. When it comes to the personalities, the other is mostly just trying to travel to country, while the other just isn't really into the music, and they just don't usually get along as friends. With this arc being a lot more different compared to the first three seasons, where the first one is about dealing with a divorce, the second mainly the mirror tip who is still in the train has to help another person who needs to get out, who made a terrible mistake. And then the third and most infamous season, well, the Apex are just committing crimes in the train and refusing to leave the train so that they can do what they want. I'm just gonna say that even though that this is a lot more different, I can say that even if I watched the first two episodes, this is probably the weakest. But then again, I've only watched the first two episodes, so my opinion on that would change eventually after I watched the next 8 episodes. The Iceberg Call, which is an episode that I've watched that takes place inside of the Infinity Train, is a really good episode. It involves McGee and Ryan along with another character who is just like the other characters who are mostly a coincidence, who is supposed to help the other characters to get through the Infinity Train. This episode is mainly about just trying to change the temperature, but also just but at the end of the day, it's mostly just trying to fast forward time and trying to put it at the right period. It's revealed that the character just completely didn't set things right because she wanted to get something from the vending machine. Yeah. It's mostly the device that it just causes time to change constantly, and then Ryan and McGee needs to fix it. Let me just say that as much as I really didn't understand nearly all the characters aside from the two main protagonists in this is actually a prequel to the first 3 seasons. Well, one of the antagonists from the first season, yeah, I'm sorry I forgot her name, actually is really in her 30s or 40s in this, and she just wants to make sure that if McGee and Ryan manage to survive throughout everything, then they might be able to get home, because it's either because if they don't, they will die. I guess that the 4th season is gonna be darker, just like in the previous seasons, but not as dark as what we witnessed from the 3rd season. And let me tell you that as much as I really enjoy the show, it's really disappointing that when I watch all the rest of the episodes, we're not going to get a continuation. And the fact that this is the final season. I've watched so many videos regarding the cancellation of Infinity Train and the fact that people are mostly disappointed that it just really didn't got renewed, but let me tell you that for people who actually watch the entire show in this amount of time, they completely admitted that Infinity Train ended far too soon. Because those 4 more books after this, book 5, book 6, book 7, and book 8. And considering of how the ending of what season 3 is, we're probably not going to see the former Apex anymore, which is really disappointing, because after watching the 3rd season, I honestly thought that the 4th season was about Grace along with the no longer Apex to try to get home. But just by watching the ending, it just shows that they actually did get home, but it happened off screen. But let me just say this, that it's really disappointing that Infinity Train isn't even 2 years old, and then it just came to an end all because of all this stuff. It's difficult when you completely see a show that only has 10 episodes, 11-minute episodes per season. And the fact that they didn't take the time to make 4 more seasons is honestly really depressing. And when people say that the creators and writers are just moving on, it's still no excuse, because even though that I will admit that it's difficult to make any cartoon when it comes to its animation and style, it's Infinity Train that, compared to other cartoons that had 26 episodes each when it comes to seasons, it's really not that difficult to when it comes to time, when it comes to the time that they have. It's really a shame, because I really think that every time I try to think of the positives when I get into the 4th season, it just really makes me annoyed that we're not going to get a continuation. All that Cartoon Network has is Elliot from Off, Summer Camp Island, and Craig of the Creek. And no, I'm not talking about Teen Titans Go, because at this point, that show is nearly 8 years old and it's starting to become the next SpongeBob, where it's just becoming really repetitive and really old. Yes, I will admit that I may be over-exaggerating that Cartoon Network is sooner becoming a lot more different, since that HBO Max is handling all of Cartoon Network's cartoons, but considering that just by watching this could have been a cartoon that can easily carry more people when they watch more episodes. And let me tell you that I'm really upset that we don't get to have any continuations. Fanfiction just isn't really good enough when you completely see the aftermath of any of the characters' arcs in these episodes. All in all, there is one thing I'm going to do involving Infinity Train, and that's going to be part of Summerpalooza 3, since by the time we get into August, it will be the second anniversary of Infinity Train as a series, not the pilot from 2016, the series as a whole that became episodic. I'm going to be ranking the top 3 episodes per season from Infinity Train, and I'm going to be uploading it on the day of August 5th, which is the day where the first episode of Infinity Train came out. The reason why I'm doing that is because I would make reviews of this show, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure it might be overshadowed to the fact that I didn't get the video out on time, and the fact that other reviews are much more better. So instead, I'm decided to rank the top 3 episodes. Reasons why I'm doing top 3 is because there are 10 episodes, and if I did top 5, I would just easily rank half of each season. And I really don't want nearly all the projects in Summerpalooza 3 to be long. I mean, it is going to be long, but not as long as I want it to be. I'm letting you know that if there was an episode that you really want me to review when it comes to Infinity Train after the top 3 videos come out, then you can comment down below. Otherwise, if you want to request me to review at least one episode before then, I might be able to upload it sometime this month or in May or June, since those schedules don't have a lot of videos in store. Let me just say this, that once I watch all the episodes, the ranking of each season of the top 3 episodes are mostly my opinion. So keep this in mind. I'm trying everything I can to make it work out if you don't agree with me or not. So anyway, I'm still gonna watch all the episodes regardless, and I really hope that it at least had some kind of a good ending, even though it ended far too soon. I'll see you guys next time.